time. If you beat him after that, it don't count. You understand me? So it's not that. I'm not saying Floyd's not a great fighter, but I can't put him ahead of guys who have crossed that line like that. When I put you in with an equal opposition, want to beat Sugar? No, baby. Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think you would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off? Sugar is a dog. People don't, just cause his name Sugar don't mean nothing.
Orchestrated, I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
Roy Jones Jr. strongly called out Floyd Mayweather, leaving Stephen A. Smith taken aback. He argued that while Floyd's record looks impressive, it's built on fights against well-known names who are no longer in their prime. Roy believes Mayweather never truly tested himself against someone with real power or danger. In his view, Floyd's career was more about playing it safe than proving he was the best in the ring. Right. As Stephen A. Smith praises Floyd Mayweather's greatness, he recalls one of the most impressive moments of Floyd's career.
I don't know what's going on with him. Sugar Ray Leonard said himself he thought he would beat him. The reason I tell people I thought Sugar would beat him is because when you mention great fighters, right, 90% of your great fighters are black, the ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's going to be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see, these guys are going to be great. They're going to start eclipsing and coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them are going to be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level? Nobody. Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns twice, Roberto Duran, who would be one of the other people on that pound list. He beat guys that were Floyd Mayweather Sr. He beat guys that were at their prime, no matter what color they were. He beat all of them at their prime. Him and Tommy fought when they both had O's. Not when Tommy got beat by Iran Barkley. That's too late to beat Tommy. If you beat him after that, it don't count. You understand me? So it's not that. I'm not saying Floyd's not a great fighter, but I can't put him ahead of guys who have crossed that line like that. When I put you in with an equal opposition, now I can judge and say, hey, you did that, you go on that line. But Terrence Crawford was there all these years. He never fought him. He fought Canelo, who was way younger than Crawford, 3 years younger than Crawford. But Crawford was there too, but you never called Crawford's name.
Is there like some sort of tensions and beef between you? Or?
He got mad because I said that on All the Smoke, and then he started put up some video of him watching some of the fights I had in my later career where I got knocked out. He said, look at the highlights. Yeah, they make the highlights, but those highlights are probably more exciting than your highlights. Still, you feel me? But when you play with me, I'm not ducking or dodging nothing. Still, my name's still Roy Jones Jr. I don't care. I get in shape right now for anybody. Running ain't my game. I never duck and dodge. I'm not that guy.
Do you think he'll fight you?
I don't know if he will. I'm welcome. I'm wide open for it. So let's go.
And on that note, it was always a pleasure, my man. Thank you.
The night he fought a young and powerful Canelo Alvarez. Stephen shares how Mayweather entered that fight with an injured hand, something most fighters would never risk, yet still managed to dominate. He emphasizes Floyd's skill, composure, and ring IQ, saying very few could outclass someone like Canelo, even at full strength. For Stephen, this fight proves just how special Mayweather truly is. Despite the injury, Floyd never backed down and showed why he's considered one of the greatest in boxing history. Roy Jones Jr. doesn't just question Floyd Mayweather's greatness. He actively dismantles the foundation of it. In Roy's eyes, Floyd's 50-0 record is more about protection than perfection.
Looks me in my face, and he says, I'm going to take him out about the 8th or 9th round. And I said, your hand's always broken. You ain't known for your punching power since you moved up from lightweight to welterweight. Why are you so sure you're going to do this? He said, Stephen A., he's a UFC fighter. He said, and he's a striker. He's accustomed to coming at you and throwing punches. What he's not accustomed to doing is punching while he's throwing backwards, while he's moving backwards and pushing you off of him. He says, I'm going to walk right into him and stay at his chest. He's going to have to push me off in order to throw his punches. He said he's going to be circling the ring. He said by around 4 or 5, he's not going to have any legs. He's going to be done. And he said, and I'll just toy with him and keep him around until around the 8th or the 9th round. And that is exactly what Floyd Money Mayweather did.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago. And for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor. Not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
He believes that Mayweather built his undefeated status by dodging the truly dangerous opponents in their prime, relying on clever matchmaking and timing rather than facing real risk. For Roy, true greatness isn't about staying clean. It's about taking chances, walking through fire, and still standing tall. Jones points out that any true boxing fan who follows the sport deeply can see the cracks in Mayweather's carefully polished image. It's not about hate. It's about honesty. As Roy Jones Jr. continues to speak out, more people are starting to understand his side of the story. He's not just talking out of bitterness.
This age, who's better? Let's do it. We don't got to do subliminal. Roy Jones, 56 years of age, right? If you don't know, Roy Jones, who's 66 wins, 10 losses, no draw, 47 wins by way of knockout. He was knocked out 5 times in his career. Stands at 5'11" with a 74-inch arm reach. Roy Jones was asked a few times, particularly he did an interview with another Hall of Famer, an Olympic gold medalist, 2-division world champion retired, Andre S.O.G. Ward. And Roy Jones was asked about, what his thoughts is of Floyd Mayweather. He's always been very outspoken when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. He's never kept it a secret. He don't value Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather made a statement about Roy Jones' icon, right? A guy he looked up to, the GOAT, that many people believe, Muhammad Ali. When Floyd Mayweather made the comments that Muhammad Ali is not better than him, that he's better than Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones didn't take that too light. Roy Jones was not happy with that. He said, how you going to say you better than the GOAT? How you going to say you better than somebody that paved the way for us all? How you going to say, that you could beat Muhammad Ali? You a small guy. You understand what I'm saying? And rightfully so, I get it. But Roy Jones, got to understand, everybody's mindset ain't his mindset, right? Everybody don't have the same mindset. Everybody's not looking at it the same way, right? Floyd Mayweather always says this. It is no disrespect to no other fighter, but I ain't getting the sport of boxing to say no fighter is better than me. And he ain't supposed to, right? You get in this, you have idols, you have icons, you have people that pave the way that you look up to, but you get in it to be better than them, right? It's just like being a parent, right? You want your kids to be better than you, not equal to you, not on the same level, but you want them to be better than you. And that's how Floyd Mayweather look at it. Yeah, Muhammad Ali paved the way. Yes, he's great, but guess what? I ain't getting in this sport to say somebody's better than me. Now, where Floyd Mayweather went a little sideways to the people when Muhammad Ali's kids and family got involved, his daughter Layla Ali, they wasn't happy, and then Floyd said, well, listen.
He's telling the truth from the perspective of someone who's been in the trenches of boxing at the highest level. When Roy was in his prime, he was a phenomenon, fast, powerful, creative, and nearly untouchable in the ring. His career was filled with moments of brilliance where he took on real danger and made it look effortless. That's why his words carry weight. Clarissa Shields, a decorated Olympic champion and one of the most respected names in boxing today, has stepped into the heated debate between Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. She's made her stance clear enough with the talk in social media back and forth.
Roy Jones Jr. is telling the truth about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Finally, as the two of these incredible fighters have been going back and forth in the media, trading barbs, trading insults. But as people listen and look, one thing that stands out to me is that you guys must have really forgotten how great a fighter Roy Jones Jr. was at his peak. When you look at Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s whole career, you see a perfect career, incredible fights, no losses. But what you won't see is any time in his career where he was as good and as dominant at his peak as Roy Jones Jr. was. Roy Jones Jr. was one of the best fighters, pound for pound, #1 fighter in the sport of boxing for over a decade, and he deserves respect for that. Now, specifically about what Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to say and the insult that he had about Muhammad Ali, that's what is at the root of Roy Jones Jr.'s problem with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Because Floyd Mayweather Jr., despite how great he is is absolutely positively an egomaniac, incapable, seemingly incapable of giving other people their credit. If you can't give credit to Muhammad Ali as being one of the top 5 fighters of your lifetime, Floyd, stop it. You know full well that he is a better fighter than Roberto Duran and that you are just being petty and insulting about the man. And I applaud Roy Jones Jr. for checking Floyd Mayweather on that. And he isn't the first person to check Floyd about that. Mike Tyson said the same thing. Floyd is just an incredibly, incredibly gifted person in the ring, but outside the ring, I think it's kind of hard to find anybody that's a bigger jackass than Floyd Mayweather.
Clarissa believed the only way to settle this is through an official fight in the ring. While she acknowledges Floyd's talent and accomplishments, she questions how much they truly mean without a serious challenge. In her view, facing an opponent like Roy Jones Jr., who has proven himself across multiple weight classes, would finally reveal whether Floyd truly deserves the legendary status many have given him. She wants action, not just reputation, to define greatness. This potential clash between Floyd and Roy has ignited the boxing world. It's not just casual fans talking.
Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. kind of don't like the debate. You know, to me, they're legendary, they're Hall of Famers. Well, I don't understand this beef. I mean, what do you think about it overall?
Beef is beef, man. Smoke is smoke. People don't like each other, man. I don't know why everybody act like they're so shocked. There's people who I don't like. Hell, beef is beef, man. And everybody got their egos. And, you know, Floyd posted that story where he showed Roy Jones getting knocked out. And then Roy said what he said. And it was like, now it's beef. So, hey, best way to handle beef is to fight.
That's what Tarver said. Just let him fight. Let him fight.
Just let him fucking fight.
You see another exhibition on that.
That's how I feel about all my beef. Just let us fight, goddamn. I want to fight somebody.
So if I had to bet the house, who would I bet on? Mayweather or Roy Jones Jr. if that fight actually did happen?
I have seen Mayweather train, and I was in Dubai with him on one of the exhibition fights. And I tell you that Mayweather can come back and fight professional against some of the best men in the world right now. So.
Hardcore analyst champions and sports media outlets are weighing in. The discussions go beyond who's faster or stronger. It's about legacy, about truth, about who really represents greatness in boxing. On one side, you have Mayweather's loyal base, pointing to his clean record, his ring IQ, and his defensive brilliance. On the other side, you have those who see Roy Jones Jr. as the more naturally gifted fighter, someone who wasn't afraid to experiment, fight bigger men, and leave it all in the ring. Everyone has a theory, a prediction, a favorite, and the buzz, it's getting louder every day.